I'm ChosenArchitect, and this is All The Mons. Over the last few episodes, it has been really heavily tech-focused, and we've been getting a lot of stuff up and running. But today changes just a little bit as we step away from the technology side of things, and we get back into technically technology but related to Pokemon. Or should I say Cobblemon? I'm sorry, I just had to point out how chill P-Dove is over here, just literally hanging out. Though he's such a chill dude. Look at that. But anyways, if I plan on taking on the world of Cobblemon, I'm going to need more Mons, and I want to catch some of my favorites today, and that's going to be sort of my goal. To be able to do this, though, we are going to utilize some more technology that is built into Cobblemon itself. And that wonderful technology is going to be the cooking pot. And boy, are we going to be cooking today, that's for sure. Now, this campfire pot is going to give us the ability to make Poké Snacks. And there's actually a lot of logic behind these Poké Snacks, but they are essentially going to give us the ability to target specific Pokemon and or specific tiers and buckets for the rarity of the Mons, and also the potential to boost shiny chance. Not by much, so I wouldn't expect miracles for the shiny chance, but it is going to have the potential to increase it. Another cool thing it can do is also re-roll drops. So if you're looking for specific drops from certain Mons, there's ways that you can increase those drop chances from making special snacks. But this has a lot behind it, and it may look like a simple item that you just place in the world, but there's a lot of logic, like I said, behind this simple block you place in the world. Now, I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but first we've got to get all of the ingredients up to craft this. Now, thankfully, honey bottles we've essentially solved. We got into mystical agriculture last episode, so now we can make unlimited honey bottles. That's not going to be a problem. What is going to be a problem, though, is getting a hold of some milk, getting ourselves hearty grains, and Vivichoke. Or Vivichoke? Vivichoke? Is it Vivichoke? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, one of the simplest ways for us to get the Vivichoke is through Vivichoke seeds, which you can get from either looting, which we basically have done with this farm right here, or by utilizing this item pickup farm, which does produce these seeds, because this is pulling from like the random loot pool that you would find in structures. Now, when it comes to the hearty grains, I found those in swamps, but you could probably find them in a lot of different water locations. Swamps, I just happen to see them a lot. Now, the Vivichoke seeds, they're pretty straightforward as far as a crop that can be harvested. You just simply bone mill them and right click and they work. No problem whatsoever. Hearty grains, on the other hand, they are absolutely a pain and they don't function the way you might think. While they can be grown underwater, they don't have to be grown underwater, and you can grow them above ground. But notice whenever I right click this, yeah, that's not an expected behavior. And so you can still right click up top to receive it, but now you have this up top, which can be bone milled, and you get this interaction where I can't right click the top anymore. It's very weird. So what you can do is you can harvest this and then right click up top, which seems very, very weird, and something that you wouldn't be able to use any sort of clicker or anything like that to be able to do effectively. Well, at least if it was like a macro, for example. But you could use another awesome mod, like maybe Just Hire Things. And now I still haven't gone to the end yet, so technically I don't have access to the next tier goo. So we are still stuck with simple clickers, but believe me, you don't need advanced clickers or anything like that. We just simply need regular clickers. So for example, this seed right here, we can just set this to every tick and put something in here like bone meal, and this will tick the bone meal and should right click automatically for us without the need of anything crazy, right? It's just going to work so long as we put the bone meal in. But where this makes this farm a little bit easier is we can have this click on two different areas. So we can have the bottom here, bone meal for us, setting that to one tick, and we can have the top up here just simply right click. Now it may need an item to be able to right click, so we can just give it an item like a stick that doesn't have any durability, right? And I believe it should be able to right click, and we just bone meal the bottom, and notice that is growing the top and it is farming it for us. It's a little bit janky, but this is a really great early way of doing it. I love how it placed the stick also. So yeah, I don't even think it needing an item in its inventory is necessary. But honestly, like sending this bone meal and stuff, I mean, we have a ton in our mob farm, but we don't have to use bone meal. we can actually use an enchantment. We actually already looted a hoe. We looted this from the deep dark inside of the ancient city, and this already has Nature's Blessing on it. So what we need to do is essentially strip it off, and what I'm hoping for is to be able to use the printing press to be able to duplicate it. Yes, there is a way of duplicating enchants. Now, back at our mob farm, what I'm going to want to do is throw down this hoe with some books and then drop an anvil on it on top of some obsidian to be able to strip the enchants off of here. Then what I'm going to do is just over here, it doesn't really matter where this is at, I'm going to place down a depot, and then on top of that, a printer from Create Enchantment Industries. We shift right click that directly on top of the depot. Then what I want to do is I want to place down an experience holder and then just grab a few levels out of here so we can retrieve quite a few and just simply store it into the new one. Now, if we don't use the Create Enchantment Industries enchanting liquid, it is a little bit more expensive to do this, and we may not be able to support this tier 3 book, but I'm hoping that this does work. So we are going to still need to pipe the fluid into this, which makes it really, really easy. You can see the Just Dire fluid going in. And then it would be a good idea for us to technically equip some Create goggles. These engineer's goggles are going to allow us to be able to see the information on the printer. So if I, for example, put Nature's Blessing in here, I'm going to be able to determine real quick, is this going to be too expensive? And in this case, you can see it is 5,000 millibuckets, which this only holds 4,000. So unfortunately, using the default XP fluid from Dire Things, yes, this is too expensive. So what I'm going to try to do is just simply enchant a bunch of hoes and try to get, for example, Nature's Blessing at a lower tier. Hopefully one that fits within this bound. So let's grab a book. And there we go. We got Nature's Blessings 2. And we'll throw this on here. Let's see. Is this one going to be too expensive? Because even having the ability to duplicate this one would be really nice. And perfect, it fits. So once you get a green value here, all we have to do is place in our books. So let's say we want to make 8 copies. It's as easy as just placing the books on the depot, and it quite literally just duplicates it. Doesn't even consume it in here. It just makes more. So with a simple boop and boop, and then another little boop and boop, we have all the Modium hoes. Now for full scale automation, we just simply click here, put the hoe in, and just look at that go. So that one is farming up. Over here, we'll also put the hoe in. This is now farming up. And then I have a collector that is just simply collecting this every 20 ticks, leaving it on its default settings, which is more than fine. And then when this barrel overfills, we can just simply void the rest. And there you go. Not too bad of a farm. And these are the things that we're going to need for Poké Snacks today. Now, if we're going to make these snacks, we also need ourselves some milk. So a milk tank being spawned out of a pasture block should be able to work. Now, by default, I believe you have to catch a milk tank to be able to milk it. And so, when it's out and about, well, we just collect it here. It looks like it's kind of happy here. And we're almost ready to make our first little Poké Snack here. And the Poké Snack, once we close the lid, will start working. But we actually want to modify this a little bit. And there's a couple of options, depending on what you're trying to hunt for, that are related to berries. And you know what? I probably shouldn't have said a couple because there's like thousands of combinations, to be fair. But there's really only a couple of options that I really want. And I just want to use it to help increase the bucket chance, or the chance for an ultra rare mon to spawn, for example. For example, like Gibble. Gibble is an ultra rare mon, and we just so happened to get it randomly. It just spawned in our base. But if we were hunting for an ultra rare specifically, it could take quite a while for one to spawn. So it's probably at this point that we should talk about bucket chance and what that even means, and what is the spawn chance of particular mons that could spawn. I think the best way to describe bucket chance is each of these mons that show up in this list are inside of a bucket or a barrel, for example. And so each of these barrels are going to be a different rarity. So you have common, you have uncommon, you have rare, and then ultra rare. Same as listed here. You have uncommon, common, rare, and ultra rare. And what's going to happen is a roll is going to be selected, and there's going to be a chance of a bucket being selected when a mon spawns. Then once that bucket is selected, then you have a chance within that bucket of a particular mob spawning. And so by using Poké Snacks and certain things, for example, enchanted golden apples, well, we can increase that by quite a bit. You can see right here, we can boost the rarity bucket by plus 10 tiers. And this should significantly boost the chances that, well, this treat will spawn a mon that is from a higher tier bucket. And so if we put all of these things together, we can now see that if we combine them all, we now get a 100% boost rarity bucket of 30 tiers. So all of these increased. And then also enchanted golden apples give us a boost of our shiny chance and a reduced bite time, which means that it will spawn the mons faster. So yes, as far as we know, this is the best items to use in here if you're trying to get a higher tier and also boost the chance of them being shiny. But this isn't always the optimal setup. There may be certain things that you're trying to hunt for and certain mons you're trying to hunt for, and depending on the mons and the typing, you can actually specify all of that from within this using different berries. And if you hover and shift over this, you can see what all of those different things are. For example, this is a times 10% chance for electric types that you could apply potentially to this. Poison types, ground types, and all that other fun stuff. But now something to keep in mind when setting this up is sometimes you may want to catch a lower tier mon, so increasing the bucket chance may not be the thing you're trying to do and wanting to do. But for me right now, because I want to go after a mon that spawns in the ultra rare category, well, I'm going to want to set these up. So let's go ahead and close the lid, and this is going to start and produce that Poké Snack for us. Look at that. And so beautiful. We now have our Poké Snacks, and I do want to pop the lid off if I'm not actively wanting to cook anything. And we now have some Poké Snacks that are pretty powerful, and they also have a times 28 chance for shinies. But that only is for the mons that do spawn from the actual snack itself. And what you're going to find is these will be quite underwhelming with how they actually function. Now, the particular mon that I actively want to go hunting for is a Bagon, and this one spawns in peak biomes and will eventually evolve into Salamence, which is one of my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon. So to be able to get this though, it is an ultra rare spawn. However, it is a rare spawn in the Aether if we were to go into the Aether. But for right now, I think the easiest place to find it is going to be a peak biome. First thing we need to do is search up a peak biome. And that's really easy. We just basically search stony peaks. I mean, that's going to be one of the easiest places to probably find it. And then we just need to make our way to a stony peaks. And so here we are. I've made it to a stony peaks biome, which already a ton of mons are going to start spawning. And there is a chance that we could have made it here and there was a Bagon. But it is in the ultra rare category. So if we pop down and we use our Pokénav, we should be able to see the mons that have a chance of spawning here. And look at this, ultra rare tier right here is Bagon, along with many others, including Ditto and all kinds of other different mons, which would be really nice to catch. So now that I've found this place, we can head back to Rocket Labs because there's still a couple of other things we should probably set up first. Now, one of the things that would be pretty helpful is having a mon that can put other mons to sleep. And while Jigglypuff isn't the best because I would prefer to have something with sleep powder, this is going to do for now. And so we just need to get it leveled up. And so there we go. Now we can teach Jigglypuff. Let's see. It is going to be up at the top, I bet. Sing, yeah. It's not a great chance, but still a move that we could utilize. Now, another useful item is going to be something that can help us search, but you may find it kind of problematic to search Pokemon inside of here. And that's because to be able to get the E from Pokemon, you need to hold down Alt on your keyboard and then type on your numpad 130, so 130, and then let off of Alt. And yeah, it is kind of a pain that they don't have like alternative searches built in to work in JEI. But yes, if you do want to search for Poke E like this, then you do have to do that Alt key. And what we're looking for is the Poke Finder, which is, yeah, going to be really helpful, especially since I don't have the best of eyes sometimes and I easily miss things. This will allow us to hopefully not miss mons that spawn nearby, as this will allow us to see all of the mons that are nearby on this radar, but also we can put the mons specific in here. For example, I'm looking for Bagon, so I'll just put Bagon inside of here. And now we don't see all of those random mons, but whenever we do have one that spawns near us, we'll be able to see the icon. So now I hope you're ready. There's going to be a lot of information that I'm about to spout out to you about the Poké Snacks and how they are functioning in the world, and some things that I find to be kind of important that you need to know. First one, Poké Snacks, their timer is based off of random ticks, much like a crop, so accelerating them is probably not going to be something that you're going to be able to do. First things first, in order for the Poké Snack to even work in the first place, you need to be within a 64 block radius of the Poké Snack. Next, from the Poké Snack itself, well, mons that are going to spawn with these special conditions that we assigned with, for example, the Enchanted Golden Apple, and whenever they take a bite and actually spawn, they are only going to spawn within an 8x8 cube, so 8 blocks on all sides away from the actual Poké Snack in a cube. Another thing, does other mons that are around affect the spawn? Yes. If the spawn cap is actually filled up and it does its checks, it can fail and not actually summon the mob, even though a random tick has happened for it. So that means we are going to have to go on a Pokemon killing spree. And you may be wondering, how big is the area that it is looking at? Well, it is basically looking at a massive 96 block radius for mons that are nearby. If you want to check out a really awesome video that visually describes and shows all of this awesome stuff, I recommend checking out GodDig. I'll have the link down in the description below, as they put out a fantastic video sort of covering these Poké Snacks. Highly underrated, so definitely go check it out. Now, with that knowledge, we can place down a Poké Snack right in the center of this rather flat area after looking and making sure that a mon can spawn here. And when we place this, essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to 8 blocks in all directions, including vertical if there was an actual block that it could spawn on, well, it can spawn, including down. So make sure the area underneath is also not filled up. But things take time. And even for this to work, there is a specific corner that it needs to work in. And if we hit F3G, generally putting it in the center of the chunk would probably be a good idea, but it's not 100% necessary. Outside of all of that, it is just simply waiting, making sure you stay within a 64 block radius of this thing, making sure your daylight conditions are in check, and then just go around and take out any of the mons that you see that are nearby to help this thing actually spawn. I know this isn't one that could spawn from here, but hey, it is an errand. I kind of actually want to catch you. Let's go ahead and test out our Jigglypuff, and let's see how this is going to function. Let's go ahead and make sure we have Ultra Balls, and I don't expect Jigglypuff to have a huge success with Sing, but who knows? Who knows? It may work. Yeah, look at there. We got it to sleep, which gives it the sleep condition, making catching it a whole lot easier. We could lower it down, but just it being asleep should allow us to catch it pretty easily. That's so good. With that out of the way, back to completely annihilating mons as I wait for things to spawn. By the way, when taking these mons out, we're going to get all kinds of stuff. Like, for example, there's a smoke ball, like mini items we'll get from these mons. And also maybe wondering, can we tick accelerate this in this way? Like, I don't think that it is technically working, even though it is looking like it ticks it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be taking on those particles. I still don't think it is. Ooh, and there we go. We had our first bite. And whenever you see these particles, this right here is one that spawned due to that bite. And you know what? A Bellum, I'm not going to complain too much. This is actually a really good mon to find. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to go after it. All right, Jigglypuff is slowly working its way down. I have no idea what it's doing, but can I sing you to sleep? That would be really nice. Come on. And yes, a success, I think. Dropping right to the ground. Let's do this. Come on. First try. And just because I didn't get the one that I particularly wanted doesn't mean that I won't off of my first Poké Snack. It's just going to take some time. And there's some awesome mons, like I said, that can spawn from this. This being one of them, for example. Oh, this is so nice. And that Beldum took like 8 minutes to catch that thing. That was uncalled for. Oh, it's going to be so nice when we can actually make better balls. In that time, by the way, several bites have been taken. This guy spawned from it. And I think most of the other mons that did spawn from it just despawned. Oh, and another bite was taken. Another mon that I actually really wanted, but didn't think I was going to get. Larvitar. Yes, you turn into try Ranatar? Yeah, try Ranatar. I don't know why I couldn't say that. Anyways, yes, another mon We are definitely catching. 100%. Did not mean to switch to Gyarados. Jigglypuff, I'm sorry. You're probably going to take a nice hit here, but if I can just get you to sleep, just sing you a nice little song, we should be good to go. Or at least so I hope. Yes. Oh, perfect. And we'll see how long this one takes. Hopefully not too long. Ooh, only 2 balls for that bad boy. Jigglypuff put in the work. That's actually fantastic. Now, typically you'd want to hunt for like the best mons, but actually in this pack, worrying about stats is not something that you're going to need to worry about. We're going to be automating ways of effectively just setting the mon stats to whatever we want in the future. So I'm not super concerned at the moment. Now, while I've been waiting for this, I started thinking, what if we had a way to shoot Pokeballs out of a gun? You'd probably be like, that's kind of wild. Why would you do that? Well, the Pokeball launcher lets me do that exact thing. Literally gives you a gun with multiple slots, and you can change between different Pokeballs. So if you have Great Balls and you have all kinds of different stuff, you can load them into this, and then you can use your bracket keys to swap between them, which is pretty cool. And I mean, just look at that thing. That is definitely a launcher for balls. I can't complain. The last bite. Look at this. It's a Ditto. Like, no joke. I need you so badly. That's so nice. And it's a level 4. Like, this should be so simple to catch that I might be able to literally just toss a ball at it and not even go into combat. Oh, that is so nice. Let's see. Come on. Oh, you're gonna do it, aren't you? All right, well, man, and especially since Pokopia is now out, man, having a Ditto is so adorable. I recently did play Pokopia. I don't know if you guys have played it, but super adorable, and I've been having a blast so far. Anyways, let's get the sing off to get our Ditto sleeping. Look at its squishy self. That is fantastic. All right, so this is going to be really helpful for breeding, and we may have the potential of shiny breeding. That would be kind of cool if that is a thing. Like, if there's any indication of the eggs particularly being shiny, maybe you guys can let me know down in the comments below, because I haven't looked too deeply into it just yet. And if it is, there is the possibility of setting up farms, because we have many ways of breaking things. That'd be really cool. There we go. Ah, we now have a Ditto. Ditto breeding. Now, I still haven't got my Bagon, so I placed down both of these cakes, and I do want to test out, does it make it go any faster or seem any faster having two? I mean, the potential of us just simply wasting the cake is pretty high, especially if we get something that we want and we spend so much time catching it that the other mons despawn. That's one bad thing I have noticed. They do despawn quite frequently. Ooh, we got a fracture that spawned off of this, though. I mean, this is just another mon that we just don't have. So, yeah, I'm going to go after this bad boy. And there we go. We got him. Oh, and finally, look who spawned. Yes, this is who I've wanted this entire time. Ah, yes, Bagon. And this will evolve into Salamence, which I'm pretty excited for. So Jigglypuff, put in your work. I never thought I would be utilizing Jigglypuff this much, but it was actually kind of a good catch. All right, sing. Oh, come on, Jigglypuff, you got this. Come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Ah, yes, and he's asleep. Please catch pretty quick. I mean, the chances of actually catching it first try, not very high. Would have been so nice if we would have got it shiny. We caught it first try. I can't complain. Like, I'm super happy about that. You've got to remember that this is an ultra rare, and inside of the bucket for the ultra rare, it is pretty low also. So my goodness, if you remove the bucket, you can see the chances from within the bucket. And yeah, 13%. I mean, I guess it is the highest out of its pool, but still though, like in general, just the chances of it, 0.03 of it spawning. Without these snacks, you would probably never see it. You know, I think this is running a bit faster having more than one of them. So like stacking these up to like maybe 8 blocks tall would probably be a good use. You don't want to put too many in here because you'll end up spawning more than you can possibly catch, which I think could possibly be a problem, but that would be a great way. Man, once we have a lot more gold, that would be a fantastic way of doing this. So I've got basically all the mons that I kind of want from here. And let's say I want to take this with me. Well, I can actually cut, I would assume, this out of existence. And yes, we want to override the data that's in there. So tool, click again. Perfect. And that allows us to pick it up and move it somewhere else. Okay, so this is fantastic. So if you do have a tower and you don't use it all and you actually get the one you want, yeah, just use the cut paste tool, cut it, and then just store it. Yeah, you can just store it as a tower, and whenever you want it, move it into a different biome. And it should keep all of its data, at least I would assume so. For example, we bring it back home and just place it down here. I mean, there's a chance for us to get all kinds of different ultra rares and stuff like that just around our base, to be fair. Like, I mean, we could get all kinds of starters and stuff like that. But now that I'm back home, a lot of the mons that I want to level up require like past level 50 to be able to even evolve. And at the moment, well, we've only unlocked level 36. So we still have a long ways to go. And yes, it's going to take a little bit before we even get to that point. Because it looks like fighting through all of these, getting just to level 42 is going to require 5 trainers we've got to go through. I guess without further ado, let's take on Gym Leader Fantina. Now, until we actually get an arena built, this will be my temporary arena. But Fantina, I hope you are ready, because I am taking my Gyarados for a spin here. And here we go. I've trained for this moment. So ghost typing, it looks like. Okay, very nice. And, ooh, I don't have a lot here for ghost typing. Oh, I do have Ice Fang, actually. We do have Bite and Ice Fang, which like a dark type would be kind of nice. You can see right here, like some useful things. So ice is 2 times effective, but dark would definitely be the best, I believe. Man, getting burned as Gyarados is still always kind of funny. There we go. I mean, balloon down. I'll take it. Gengar. All right. Again, not super. I'm actually going to switch out, and I'm going to go with that my Absol that we actually just caught, because this might be pretty nice, unless I just set myself up for failure. Ooh, that's pretty rough. Okay. Night Slash. We're going to get taken out, aren't we? Wow. Ouch. Okay, back to Gyarados. Oh man, these are always so stressful because I'm never prepared for this. I'm trying to think. Dragon Rage. Maybe we can continue Dragon Rage. No, that hurts so bad. Oh, that does a little bit. I have a feeling that like this Mon. Yeah, I have a sneaky suspicion. This is a poison type. What is it effective against? Okay, so we would need a ground or psychic type, potentially, or we don't have a dark type anymore. Man, and I don't have a psychic, and I love Jigglypuff on my team, which is unfortunate. Anything I could go for here? I really don't know. I'm just going to start throwing them out and hope that I can push my way through this. Oh, we do have a dark type move here. Feint Attack. If we can survive this. Wow, that move is incredibly nasty. Oh, that does nothing. Okay, Gym Leader. Okay. Ate the berry. And Feint Attack, use your approach to the target. Throws a Sucker Punch. The attack never misses. If we can survive this, I doubt it. He's just going to spam it. Oh, this is the worst Gengar ever. Toxtricity should be a little bit more resistant here. Remember though, we do have the specs, which we can only pick one move, and that's what we're stuck with. I'm just going to go with Shockwave then. Okay, that was definitely less effective. Shockwave definitely worked. Oh my goodness, is Toxtricity going to come in clutch here again? Oh man, I don't know. We're gonna give it a go. Vanish, Jim Lee. Okay, it missed. Okay, that was just an unfortunate miss. Oh, come on. This might be the first one we lose. This might actually be the first one we lose. You know what? I do have some revives, and this may be the first time where I probably want to use a revive. And I am going to revive Gyarados. And so my ability has been used. And we'll continue, but I still have a feeling I am going to get knocked out pretty quickly here. Having that Gyarados. Wow. Okay. Let's switch to Gyarados. And we are going to wrap this up here unless they use an item, which there's a high likelihood they might. Okay, they didn't. Oh, this is going to be great. Okay. We'll just hit it with Ice. Oh, they used it. They used it. But still, Ice Fang is definitely going to do some damage. We're confused now. This is a pretty intense battle. I do like this battle system. And we defeated it. We had to use an item, but I mean, the real Team Rocket, I would have just caught their Pokemon, you know, and then I would have done this. Get out of here! Now that you are dead. Aha! Oh, and a new one spawned. You know what? Let's make sure your item is gone so you don't do that again. Hurrah! Do they have abilities now? What is even happening? Oh my goodness, and look what spawned while we were battling. Okay, come on, Jigglypuff. I need you. Can this use teleport? That was always a thing in the game. It is asleep by default. That is so nice. Come on, let me catch an Abra. In the games, this is always so hard to catch because if you fail and it wakes up or what have you, oh, we caught it. If it fails, it usually teleports, and then you're just like, oh, well, that's a bummer. I tell you, today has been an absolutely ridiculous day. Oh, and it just keeps getting better and better. Did you just see a Tyranitar just spawn? There's no way, Jigglypuff. I mean, we could try. Nah, you know what? This one, I'm just going to leave. I find more enjoyment in actually leveling them up. Oh, and look who's hiding in the corner. Let's take this out of here. There's a Charmander off in the distance. See, having this at our base, so good. All right, Charmander, you're in a really weird spot. Can I, like, push you out of here? And you're only level 7. You absolutely adorable little guy. Oh my goodness, we have ourselves a Charmander. Yes, I will sing you a sweet lullaby to put you to sleep. But yeah, I mean, this is... The Pokésnacks are so good. Yeah, and stacking them, having them just around your base in general, super nice. I know it didn't put it to sleep, but the chances of us catching it should be pretty high. I may eat my words here. Yeah. Oh, I finally got it to sleep. This, come on. I would love a Charmander. That's actually a fantastic starter, and we got it. I mean, just look at this awesome group behind me. Fantastic. And what a day. There is still one more Mon that we could definitely catch. No. A Zubat, as requested by the comments. You guys seem to be quite interested in me potentially evolving a Zubat. You know, Team Rocket inspired and all. If we get lucky, there we go. That's so good. My personal favorite evolution, though, of Zubat has got to be Crobat, the one you level up from Friendship. I feel like I just have a thing for those Mons that, like, just evolve from Friendship. I don't know, there's something about that mechanic I really love. And so, guys, I would love to hear from you down in the comments below. What's your favorite combination of Pokésnacks, and how would you put them together to get certain Mons? I would love to hear from you down there. Plus, it helps everybody else who may be also searching and looking through the comments for those bits of information. And guys, if you did enjoy and you learned something new about the Pokésnack or whatever it may have been today, be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up, and don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And now, without further ado, it's time for me to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that huge thanks is going to go out to Clear In, or Clear One In. I think it's Clear In. Thank you so much for your amazing support and choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and just supporting my content in one of the best ways possible. Thank you so very much, you absolute boss. And guys, I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.